My opinion about art is basically that we have creative minds and they get filled with ideas, and art is the manifestation of the idea. So you kind of have to do it. If you're a person who has crazy ideas all the time, you got to get them out of your head. And for an artist, that's art is what they do to get it out of their head.
Art is comes from the soul, comes from the inner self, but when we don't define it, I don't know.
I like art that tells a story, that has multi-layered meanings in it. Art for decoration purposes is fine too, but I like it when it has rich background, rich stories. That's the color.
But, I love what I do, and there's not a lot of money in it, but I think it's important to be able to do something you love, and it doesn't feel like work, it feels like play, so.
It gives me peace to be able to create something that's from my viewpoint only. And really, I could care less if people like it or not. It's healing for me. And if other people like it and want to enjoy it as well, that's a bonus for me. It makes me happy to know that people are enjoying it. But I don't do it for anybody other than myself.
Well, skis fly south and I go when it wants. And I stand here and hang my head.
You're filming now?
No, of course not.
Okay, yes you are.
We are art in Jacksonville in the modern.
I want to go out and I want to kind of do a little market research on what's going on in the art world. Why do people make art? Why do they create? Why do they buy art? Why do they sell art?
This is not a sculpture. This is a disaster.
These are
This is a community that has a seasonal tourism in the summers, but in the winters it's not seasonal at all. It's quiet and everything shuts down except for the Sierra Nevada house. We thought that this was just going to be a workspace, and over time it just became a workspace / gallery, and it's really small. So we've just created this space to make it all work. So we work here. This is my workbench. I'm a glass artist, so I do lamp working and flame work. There's 4 of us that did this together, and we all share the cost of the rent so that it's affordable year-round, which allows us to just be artists over the winter. In the summer, it's our little art gallery, and we sell things, and we're lucky to be right off the patio of the restaurant where there's live music every weekend through the summer. So folks come and they wait for their table and to get seated at the restaurant, and they come in and they browse through, and we get to meet people from all walks of life, and it's just amazing. We love it.
So we opened our studio back in April, and it began as a classic girl adventure here in the small town of Coloma. You know, it's not about making money, it's not about making a name for ourselves, it's about bringing people together and finding our passion.
The girls in this place really add so much to the community. I think there's a lot going on here. right now already, but having some local art and artists and having a place where they can do art and sell art is huge.
We started this studio, and although I'm not necessarily one of the art contributors, I definitely feel at home here, and I work really hard with the girls to make sure that the studio gets known, that the community is involved, and I feel like my part of that is just making sure that everybody comes together and that we all experience this amazing outlet together.
It is. It's a gallery where we try to encompass the community, and we bring forth other artists that are around the area. We have about 15 other artists here.
And if we sell stuff, we're happy and it's exciting. And there's a couple artists that have stuff in here that have never sold anything before.
You don't need to be a professional to experience the joy of art, and I think that's the most important thing that I've learned.
So now I'm going to show you a little bit about how I go about doing my lamp work. I'm actually self-taught to an extent. I did take a class. I learned with the VHS tape. And this is how the glass comes when I first buy it. It comes in rods, it's sold by the ounce, and different colors are more expensive. Like the true black is really expensive. Oxygen. Get my flame.
Shooting this little scene right here, it is 110 degrees outside and there's no air conditioning in here. And we're adding a little fire to the scene. So I'm profusely sweating, but very excited to watch this whole process.
It's kind of a two-handed thing here. You gotta really concentrate. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just add the mountains. I'm just dripping them on. And I'm just creating a mountainous pattern. You know that the glass is kind of like honey. Kind of gets a little bit honey-like. While I keep the rest of the piece super hot, but not so hot it will melt. So it's actually the biggest challenge here. I'm keeping my left hand super loose so that I don't try to pull it actually off the punty that I made. We can come back. So I showed you my my signature piece, my glass piece, and I was inspired by my friend Wendy Lautner, who got married here by the river 2 years ago. And she actually, I've done a lot of wedding jewelry, but she actually gave me the license to have the freedom to make whatever I wanted to make, which actually made it harder. So thanks to Wendy, I found my signature piece.
So I got this tip to go to Mesquite, Nevada from a friend. And I've never been to Mesquite, Nevada before, so I was kind of curious. This gallery is run by pretty much the community, the retired community of Mesquite, Nevada.
Coco is my artist name. I love making hand building in clay items, creations as sort. I took classes for many years back in Michigan, and I fell in love with pottery.
When I retired 3 years ago, I moved into Mesquite, and the reason I chose Mesquite to live is because the community here supports the arts just beautifully. Our facility here includes not only our gallery, but it also includes a classroom which the city built for us. And the Virgin Valley Artists Association is an all-volunteer organization that runs the gallery, the gift shop, and the classroom.
And these artists are just doing this for the love of art and for the love of the next generation coming up.
We're really proud of our gallery here in this little town in the Virgin Valley. We think that we're an oasis in the desert for those people who are looking for a cultural experience in the southern part of Nevada.
Art seems to come from other than this world. It comes out of you, and I think it's a composite of your life's experiences and how you interpret them.
But yard art just kind of just fell into my lap, and I go around and gather all these rusty shovels and saws and whatevers, and then have them welded and paint them.
I would say it's a great stress relief after working all day. You can go home and relax, listen to music.
I believe everybody has something, some kind of ability. And I'll have a concept or an idea, but it'll be different when I'm done. And along the way, I'll be going, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Where did that come from? And then I'll end up with finishing the piece and not even knowing where it came from.
Basically, I think my art just tells us something about me. It's a visual form of what's going on in my life. Because I think art is such a personal thing that when you care enough about a piece of artwork to put your time into it.
For me, it's just kind of a creative outlet, because after a while, when you have so many ideas building and building and building, you just want to get them all out as fast as you can. So that's basically what happens with me.
Well, right now we're in Gallery Bar, which is on Main Street in Park City, Utah, in historic Park City. And the gallery's been here for 3 years now, but I've been in Park City for about 8. I directed another gallery here in town for 5 years, and then opened this gallery in 2008, right at the height of the recession, but things have been going really well. We had some difficult first months, but the past winter was absolutely fantastic, so things are going well. People are interested in buying art again, which is good to see.
It has been a very thriving art market for a long time.
We do a lot of community events in the gallery. I'd like to support nonprofits. I feel that having a space and having a gallery, one of my obligations is to use it appropriately. And at night, if I'm not here and my clients aren't here, why not open it up and have art events or fundraising parties or thank you parties for donors.
She's really inspiring to me because she's definitely, first of all, a patron of the arts. She's passionately involved with all of the artists that she carries. She really loves their work.
First of all, I came to America in 1990, emigrated out of England, and I think there was a great place to be from, but I could never find a market for my sculptures, my fabricated bird sculptures. And coming to America was so fantastic. These are the Rolls Royce of frogs. Right now, these are the best frogs in the world. There might be somebody coming up behind me with better frogs, but right now, these bronze frogs, the Frogman frogs, are the best frogs in the world.
He's very passionate about his artwork, and it's really inspiring to be able to be a part of checking this out.
I started making these frogs, bronze castings, not realising that he was going to just take off. And I thought I'd just scratch a living out of it like everything else. And from the very first show that I did, a couple came by and said, oh, I kept looking at the frogs, and then they said, we hate frogs, so we take that one, that one, that one, and that one. And I thought, you know what, maybe I've got something here. And every year it's just gone crazy. And it's just gone beyond all belief of collectability from the passion of the American people. And now we're going all the way through Europe, and it's just going ballistic.
Hi, I'm Anthony Granado. This is my artwork here. I do a unique style that's different than some artists. I actually take antique and vintage frames and I make them fit those pieces. So I make paintings to fit the antique and vintage frames.
I feel really lucky to be a part of that process. The end part of the process, but still a part of the process. The art's never really finished until it's on somebody's wall, somebody owns it, and someone has that little piece of the artist's vision in their home or their office or wherever it is.
Got a tip from my uncle. He went to school in Denver and he does furniture design, and he had a really good friend that he really admired from school. We stopped off at her house and her story was amazing.
I graduated about a year ago from industrial design with a major in industrial design, and I think I emphasized on furniture. I feel really passionate about items in your home and what makes your home a home, and the idea of a piece of furniture like a kitchen table that the whole family gathers around every night for years, eating dinner over. And so I really wanted to create furniture, and me and a friend of mine kind of sat down and we were brainstorming ways to make money or just different collaborative ideas that we had. And
she takes these trees, and you've probably all seen it, where the beetles are eating them away. You'll just see groves and groves of trees that were once green that are now red, and she sees the beauty in reusing that to make something really beautiful.
Kind of came up with this scheme to create furniture and lamps and home goods out of it. And we call our company I've Got Wood, kind of cheeky, and we throw little like funny references in our website. And we'll talk on our website, you'll see we talk about the sad story about the trees dying. We want to give it a happy ending, so we try to kind of make people smile and get them a little. We get an opportunity through a local company that really supports the arts and creatives in Denver to pitch your idea to the public on the internet. And through, it was like 6-8 weeks, maybe 3 months, I think, of voting, and the public would vote on the ideas they like, and then the top votes received funding. And so we got a little small bit of cash to fund our idea. We ended up winning one of the top 3 spots. So we bought a bunch of wood and we just started coming up with ideas. And slowly it's grown and it's gotten bigger and bigger.
I think that where she's headed with her whole ideas are going to take her to great places.
Our main product are these lamps that we make. I've got them all over the house, kind of all these different finishes. I'm experimenting with it in sizes and shapes, but that's the beetle kill pine. People love my work and bring it into their house, and I think a lot of people don't think of furniture or lamps as a piece of art, but in my mind, when they bring it into their lives, it's a little piece of me, it's a little piece of my vision, what I think is beautiful.
I think that furniture designers are like one of the most important artists that are out there. They're designers that create pieces that live with you forever.
I was talking to tons of people, giving out tons of cards, not selling a lot, but a lady came up and said, I love your work, can I take some pictures of it? She took a few pictures and then she handed me a card. She was the marketing director of Sunset Magazine. She called and was like, we want to interview you, we want to do a story on you. When can a photographer come in? And it was just this whirlwind. Within a couple of days we had photographers come in from California and set up in this living room. We did a whole photo shoot, and then we also did part of the photo shoot up in the mountains. We wanted to bring the furniture back to where it started.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was cool. We loaded up the truck and we had a little generator thing to light up the lamps, and we hung them from the trees, and we sat there on a bench under a tree and smiled for Sunset Magazine.
Taos, New Mexico. One of my favorite